Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. How is everyone today? Hope you're well. Yeah, it's official. We've been saying it. It's been saying it since last week, but finally, after yesterday's announcement from the government that things were going to go ahead, which was absolutely barking mad. Yeah, today there was the meeting at 11 o'clock this morning. And it was announced that all Premier League games, EFL games, Scotland, England, Wales, was going to be postponed, suspended, cancelled, whatever you want to call it, until the weekend of the 3rd, my birthday, the 3rd or the 4th of April. So, yeah, I did the video earlier this afternoon, and I was talking about, the cancellation, postponement, suspension, whatever. And also talking about how does this affect football in general, not just from football in general terms, but you've got to think about lower league teams and how are they going to survive, and within the next few weeks, how are they going to survive without crowds and gate receipts and things like that? Will the Premier League actually open up their coffers finally and support them, as well as sort of Premier League clubs, rich clubs like ourselves? Will they, chip in and help some of these clubs? Because we don't see any club that, let's face it, there are a number of clubs that probably are running month to month, let's face it, and rely on these type of things. So, plus, what's going to happen to all the perishable items? I said that in the video. There are teams, because the government yesterday said all games are going ahead and public events are going ahead. They would have ordered in, if they hadn't already, loads of things like burger buns and other perishable items that will be out of date. They're going to be out of date by the 3rd or 4th of April. What are they going to do with those? I mean, I'm sure there's tens or hundreds of thousands of pounds been spent on those. Are they going to give those items straight away to food banks, charities, those type of things? But anyway, there's so much to talk about. This video is just a quick live vlog just to catch up with you guys, because I did put the video out earlier this afternoon after the announcement was made, highlighting all of those issues in depth, the Premier League statements, and talking about the current statistics and what could happen next. But this video is more about, I've heard comments from and read comments about the season should be over, it should be cancelled now. What are your thoughts on that? Should it be cancelled now? Is it time to really sort of sit back and reassess and think about, well, we've got 3 weeks, there was an international break coming up, maybe we should just reassess in 3 weeks' time? But honestly, in 3 weeks' time, nothing is going to change except for the fact that cases are only going to significantly have improved on numbers with regards to, and significantly increased on numbers, I should say, rather than improved, probably the wrong word. And deaths will definitely increase, and new cases will be increasing day by day, as we've seen today. If you go and look at Worldometer, it will show you today. I'm trying to think what it was. Let me just bring it up, because I was looking at it earlier. Certain countries today have definitely increased massively, absolutely huge. But the likes of Italy and France at the moment have not published theirs, which is unusual. So we'll wait and see. But today, if you look at Worldometer, the UK is now at 798. Yesterday, I think I said, and the day before, I think I said 60 odd. Yesterday, I said it had gone up to 100 and, what was it, 128, 148. Today, it's another 208 new cases. So, yeah, it's absolutely frightening. And when you see, we take some sort of Spain, 1,188 new cases, Germany, 736. Even the USA has gone up by 143. Switzerland, 269 new cases. We are really up there across Europe, as apart from, we don't know about Italy and France yet, because they've not released the figures, but we are, when we talk about new cases, behind, apart from Spain, we're the highest, and Switzerland, we're the highest European country with new cases that are being announced. So, right, let me go back to your comments and let's see who is on. Lankout says, hello, Michael Gears. I think the health of worldwide population is more important than not just football. It's important than all sporting events. I agree with that comment, mate. Mingy Wong, hi there. How are you? Oh, God. Jesus Christ. You've got people coming on. This Justin guy here. You've got people coming on saying, fuck you, City. When we're talking about a generic human thing, and you've got people coming on, it just shows you. I mean, it's probably a United fan or maybe a Liverpool fan, probably never, ever, ever been to a game in his life. I mean, so Justin, thanks for just showing us what your fan base is exactly like. But see you, buddy. Section 20, the bin dipper's sacred. I'm assuming scared, that is, not sacred, though they do think the sacred section. That Corona is going to rob them of the league. That would be sweet, though, thought, as Corona takes me. I don't know what that means. Scared, not scared, yeah. Sacred, yeah. Kiam, no matter what happens with the league title, everyone will know this season as a farce. Liverpool will be gutted. I mean, it doesn't make any difference now what happens because it's a tainted season. Ivor's on, good evening, peasants. So good watching Sweet and Sour FC meltdown on social media. They said it could not happen. Every grey cloud has a silver lining. Cody says England versus Italy, England versus Denmark postponed. And yo, Andy. Yes, hello, Cody. RK Boy, City still the winners. Well, we're still as it stands at the moment. It's going to be a dark day. Ivor says Sky and other media should still cough up and cash up the cash for arranged live games. I think they will not. It's going to be interesting, and there's going to be loads of financial implications. Ryan Corrie's on. Hello, how are you, buddy? Blue Moon 2020. The bins at Man City have already been raided by the Liverpool supporters. Hi, Ryan says Ivor section. They should just play the games in empty studios and wearing hazmat suits. Studios or stadiums? Have you been on the lash or something section? Hey, autocorrect. I'm sure you hate autocorrect as well. Our section's been on the lash. Yusuf Nawaz, does this mean we play Liverpool next? Well, no, I'll be very surprised. We might do. Which if Blue Moon 2020 comes on, he'll post something that he posted below the video that I did this afternoon, which is quite interesting. He said if City were to play Liverpool next, they could officially win the title against Man City. And I looked at the figures and thought, really? And actually, yeah, they could because of the cancellation of games. But I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. And let's face it, if it does happen behind closed doors, I can't see it. Auto correct, you mean? Yeah, no, he's having a nightmare section today. Lankout, at the moment, I'm assuming we don't have any games. I know we're scheduled to play Liverpool on the 5th of April, but don't think that will happen. We'll wait and see on that one. Either Italy, 15,113 cases and 10,016 deaths. I was looking at some stuff earlier with regards to that. I think Italy at the moment, 10,016 deaths, but they've not updated. Italy have not updated their new cases today or new deaths, sadly. And I hope that just stays the same and it's not more, but I've got a funny feeling it will be. I'm not too bad, thanks. How are you, Justin? Just now. Hi, fellow Blues, Peter Curry. Evening, Andy. So what do you think will happen with the league? How will it pan out? Danny to me, I've got absolutely no idea. That is the point of my question, is you've got City fans and Liverpool fans obviously disagreeing on social media, arguing on social media. And, you know, it is ironic. It's very, very funny. And this is no slight on Liverpool fans. It isn't. But I'm still yet to read a Liverpool fan on social media saying, I think for the sake of humanity, for the sake of morality, I think let's just cancel it, start again next season. Not one have I read on social media that said that. All I've read is, oh, well, it needs to be suspended. It needs to restart. It needs to be done behind closed doors. It needs to be this. It needs to be that. Not one single person have I read, Liverpool supporter read on social media, that any of them, any single one of them have actually come out and said, Just cancel it. Cancel it now. Let's start again next season. End of story. Not one. Not a single one. So it goes to show you that football sometimes is bigger than humanity, and us being humanistic about everything, about life, about what happens to other people that are affected, not about anything else. It's or don't. To be fair, don't even give a shit about the players' health and safety or anything else, because clearly, all they're interested in is 30 years, which is fair enough. I do get that. I do understand it. I do. I really do. I really do. And I'm sure there'll be many City fans that, if put in the same position, will be saying the same thing. But I'm not reading Leeds fans coming out with such, vitriolic, this has got to happen. We've got to play this. We've got because we could be in the Premier League next season. I've not read it. Maybe they're out there. I haven't read it. Hi, Peter Curry. Bernard, how are you? Yeah, being at it early. It's Friday. Sanjay, it was the right decision to postpone the Premier League. Of course it was. France has refused to update figures. Why? I don't know, mate. I really don't know. Like I said, I'm checking on these all the time because of my business. So, but they haven't. We've not even had an update for France or for Italy at the moment. So I'm hoping, excuse me, I'm hoping when that comes through, it will hopefully not be as bad as what we're expecting. I really am. But I've got a funny feeling it's going to be horrendous. France has refused to update. Yeah, when you have watched City at Plough Lane, coronavirus is nothing. So hard. Alcohol helps with COVID-19. So wise move section. Yeah, there you go. That's my thinking too, Kiam. Blue Moon 2020, yep, they can win the Premier League at Man City, yeah, but with no fans, because there's absolutely no chance in a million years. And this is the thing, there is absolutely no chance whatsoever that on the 3rd or 4th of April, games are going to resume with fans in stadiums. No chance in a million years that will happen. So the only other alternative in discussions over the next 2-3 weeks will be, do we play it behind closed doors? Now, the next question with playing it behind closed doors is, hold on a minute. We could say, I mean, if we wanted to be like Liverpool fans, we could turn around and say, hold on, we had to go to your stadium in front of your fans, where clearly, normally at home, you get an advantage with your fan base and things like that, and yet you're going to come to the Etihad and play behind closed doors. And that could be Liverpool United, it could be Chelsea, Arsenal, it could be Leicester versus, I don't know, Spurs, or it could be any of the games. The team who has already played the game so far have had an advantage because who have played at home have had an advantage by having their fans there. So you could argue, well, hold on, I mean, that can't be right. It might be the only option, and I'm not saying it won't happen, it might be the only option to finish the league if they're desperate to do that. But then what you're doing is it's not just 11 players versus 11 players. There is a squad versus a squad. There are managers, there are coaching staff, there are referees, there are referees' assistants, there are representatives of the Premier League, the FA that have to be present. There are referees' assistants, there are media, journalists, there are staff. Staff have to be there. So you have to have staff there, security, you name it. I mean, before you know it, you're talking of a couple of thousand people there anyway, without any fans. So we'll get are every single one of those going to be tested prior to going into the stadium, or are we going to expose a couple of thousand people in general for that game to go ahead? Is it going to be televised? What about people with season cards? Are they going to be refunded? Is that going to be pushed into next season? Is it going to be televised live for season card holders? Is it going to? I mean, there's just so many variables that you don't even bear thinking about. But anyway, let's go back. Alcohol is basically healthy nowadays. There's a guy called Jez who was linked on my Twitter. He's an LCF account and has called for the season to be ended. He has had some stick from, I think you mean LFC either. and he's had some stick from his own. There you go. Okay, so there is somebody. There you go. I'm saying I've not seen it on my account. I'm sure there are obviously some sensible people out there, but yeah, and he's had some stick. I bet he has, mate. I bet he's been absolutely roasted by the Liverpool fans. Kiam, all jokes aside, he actually developed a bad throat and a fever last night. I'm self-isolating. No joke, he is. I've seen him. He was laughing at me when I was in Dubai with my face mask on and everything else. And what's he gonna do? He's got a face mask. Posted a picture of it and sent it to me and Martin. Carl, hey Andy, how are you? How are you doing, Carl? You well? Get well soon. Dank City says, afternoon, Martin's on, nip on. Just want the league to be cancelled so that Liverpool don't win it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure 99% of the opposition fans want that, but I'm not sure whether that will happen, if I'm honest. I don't feel bad, and I work from home these days anyway, so all good. More time for FIFA, there you go. Bernard says, Premier League predictions, null and void as well, guys. Yeah, I mean, well, it is at the moment. Let's, should we just cancel that and just start again next season? Kiam? Carl says, even if they played us at home, doesn't mean they would win. Why do we assume they would win? Nobody's assuming they would win. Nobody said, I never said just Liverpool versus City. I'm talking about, it's not just all about Man City and Liverpool. It's about Champions League spots. It's about relegation. It's not just about Man City, mate. Yeah, I think you missed that point. City fans always default to the worst case. No, Carl, you're wrong. You need to listen. 2 of them, 1 of them, or 10 of them, I should say. Listen to what I said. I never said it's about. I said it's about empty stadiums in general. There's an advantage. For example, we played Liverpool away. We play them at home in an empty stadium. But it's not just us. It's about everybody. Relegation. Those teams are going to play. Villa could be playing against Norwich. Norwich might already have played Villa away, but then have to play them at home in an empty stadium. You've got United could be playing. I've not even looked at the fixtures, but United could be playing, let's say, Arsenal, or they could be playing Sheffield United or something like that. They might have played them at the Old Trafford or at Old Trafford, but then have to go away. Vice versa, and they're playing an empty stadium. So it's not just about Man City versus Liverpool. It's about everybody. It's not just about who wins the Premier League. It's about top 4 spots for the Champions League. It's about relegation. What about what Leeds and West Brom and Notts Forest and all the others have to do? Because clearly, if it's going to be played behind closed doors for the Premier League, it will be for the Championship. So there's massive implications. It's not just about Man City versus Liverpool, which is irrelevant in the bigger scheme of things. It's about all of the dynamics of top 4 places. What happens to the money? What happens to the finances? What happens to... So do we just give it Liverpool and they get the 40, 50, 60 million, 100 million, whatever it is for winning the Premier League and all the sponsorships that go with it, even if they've not, officially won it? What happens to the bottom teams? What happens? I mean, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And I'm not sure what is the sensible way. I guess we'll have to wait and see, hence the 3-week delay until April to find out, or maybe even at the end of March, as to what's happening next. I thought Kiam works for a company, or am I wrong? I don't know, you'll have to ask him. Blooming 2020, I've heard that will be played against Liverpool because they will be wearing specially made kits from pinliners. Michael says, went to put my weekend bets on this morning, going to pick my winnings up tomorrow. They're all called off. Well done for that one. Cabell and Dell, Everton players has had to self-quarantine. One of the players has tested positive for it, just called Premier League not suspend it. Well, we've already had, there's plenty today, isn't there, mate? It's not just the Everton players, it's Boric, at Bournemouth. There's Callum Hudson-Odoi has already contracted it. Mikel Arteta, and I'm sure there are more, and I'm sure more will come out in the coming days. They expect the peak of the virus to be in May, so I doubt football will go on in April. Exactly. Callum Hudson-Odoi was tested positive this morning. Yeah, hope you and your family are all right. Yeah, my wife's saying she's got a sore throat, which isn't great because she works around the general public. I saw an item on Sky this morning on the figures used from China If Corona-19 has the same effect on the UK, there will be 65,000 to 70,000 UK cases within 8 to 12 weeks. That wouldn't surprise me whatsoever either. It wouldn't. Sanjay, how will the Champions League and Europa League and Euro will pound out? Will pound out? I don't know what that means, Sanjay. I had a spare face mask. I didn't buy it. I'm always prepared. Conspiracy theory. Ryan Curry, I just go get my granddad gas mask from the war. It's really needed. Solar face mask, I've got a full-on gas mask. Let's face it, it won't be cancelled. It'll be delayed. Yeah, I will accept the prediction league being cancelled if the Premier League is cancelled. There you go. Section, don't need that. Imagine in my head. No, not you, Andy. Kiam's point. Oh, right. Sorry. I thought you were having a go at me, mate. Nippon, this won't have gone away by April. So when does it restart? Who knows? Who absolutely knows? This is the thing. Nobody knows. Klopp told the world how to beat LFC. Come in. Sorry, my lad's coming in from work. Klopp told the world how to beat Liverpool. Sit back and refuse to play football and score 3. How is your lad, Martin? Bernard says Kiam wins prediction league with a bloody big asterisk. Yeah. If all the other clubs refuse to play Liverpool, they won't be able to complete their fixtures. Section says Scott Williams got the little drink tube stuck in the bottle of beer so I can keep hydrated. Danny told me United, their season is over because they won the We Beat City Cup. They did. My lad is fine, says Martin. Mingy Wong, he understands now why he can't go to the game. I've explained it to him. Carl says, responding to Kiam, not you. Yeah, I know. Sorry, mate. I thought you were responding to me. Martin, tell you what, let's just say Martin was the Premier League predictions and have it done with. No way. You might not even have finished above me, mate. Yemeni, how much money will clubs lose if the league is cancelled? Well, it's irrelevant, mate. At this point, it is irrelevant. There are already, the Premier League will have to pay, because the Premier League, I'm assuming, has already been paid by the broadcasting companies like Sky, BT, everything else. So how much money, I have no idea. But if you think they make £1 million, £1 million plus from gate receipts, it's not a lot in the bigger scheme of things. But when you see Liverpool being knocked out of the Champions League on Wednesday night by Atletico Madrid, who scored 3 goals at home, seeing as though they defended all the time. They lost about 30 to 35 million pounds from that for going out. So you could be looking at 100 million pounds potentially. This week's predictions would have propelled me into first place. Mingy Wong, nice to hear. Make sure you take good care of him. They'll scrap the Euros until 2021, then finish the season this summer, and next season probably cancel the League Cup and any friendlies. I've already spoke about this, Kiam. FIFA have got their World Club Championships next summer in 2021. FIFA and UEFA are already at loggerheads over finances. And do you think FIFA are going to step aside for their new competition to allow the Euros to go ahead in 2021 without a fight? Ain't going to happen. It is not going to happen. So UEFA, let's face it, FIFA are the world governing body. UEFA, it's a competition. I think what the sensible thing would be, just cancel the Euros. Just cancel it, and everyone moves on. And if that means then in the summer we have to replay the end of the domestic seasons across Europe, would that not be a more sensible thing than pushing the Euros into next season? So let's face it, FIFA are not going to be happy about it, and FIFA are going to push and push back and say, no, piss off, we've invested all of our time into this World Club Championship. That's going to be over, it's 8 different destinations with 24 clubs in it. So for me, just cancel the Euros. No big deal. Who cares about it anyway? It's garbage. So just cancel the Euros and play if they have to finish the leagues across Europe, finish the leagues in the summer or whenever they come back. But there's no excuse now, because players could potentially be in isolation or be off, not doing anything for the next 2 months. So they'll have plenty of rest. what it's going to be like coming back and playing after 2 months worth of rest and things like that. And no matches. Who knows? Afternoon, everyone. It's not good, is it? Everything being cancelled. London Marathon now cancelled. Yeah, everything is, and rightly so. Should be. Rugani, Dybala, and 46 other Italian league players have it. Phyllis Ivor says Italy has just updated their figures: 17, 60, 660, and 1266 deaths. Let me just see, has that come up on there? If true, yeah, they have. Bloody hell, that's come from the Worldometer's website. So yeah, Italy now saying 17,660 cases. That as new cases have gone up by 2,547 since yesterday's announcement. 2,500 new cases in 24 hours and 1,266 deaths, which is up by 250 from yesterday. God, it's shocking. It's absolutely frightening. Spain have released theirs now. Spain are now saying they have 4,334 cases. That is 1,188 new cases. Total deaths are 122, up 36 overnight. Terrible. It's absolutely shocking. And you've got the British government turning around saying, well, so we need 60% of the population to get it so we can have some sort of immunity to it and blah. Oh, and how many deaths do we have to have for that to happen? And if you look at it, I was looking at some figures before. Well, if you think Italy has a population of 60.48 million, well, new cases for Italy today have gone up by 1,266 with total number of deaths standing at 1,266. Spain have 46.66 million citizens. Spain has gone up by 1,188 new cases today, and their deaths is 122, up 36. Germany have 82.79 million citizens. Their new cases have gone up by 372 today. Looking at their deaths are now at 8. Thankfully, nowhere near some of the others, but their new deaths have gone up by 2 overnight. France themselves, I'm just seeing if France has say it. No, France has still not come up at the moment. France is still showing 2,876 cases, total deaths 61. Switzerland, I've got 8.57 million citizens. Their new cases have gone up by 267 with 7 deaths. And then obviously Holland, I've got 17.18 million citizens, 190 new cases with 10 deaths. And then obviously today, the UK, we've gone up to 798 in total, up to 208 from yesterday. With 11 deaths, which is one additional one, and one too many at the end of the day. So you've seen cancellations. Madrid, no flights into Madrid, and no flights out unless you're a resident in there. Cancellation of Slovakia flights there. So this is like I said. I said the other day. I said last week. This is the tip of the iceberg. This is nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're not seeing the bigger picture yet. Shocking news. I feel for the NHS staff and the educational workers, credit to them all, especially NHS staff. China is getting better. We shall get over this. But China's been in China's stats at the moment. Yeah, it's definitely reducing, but they've got 80,000, 22 new cases, 8 new deaths, total of over 3,177 deaths in China. And you're right, they are getting over it. But it's taken, nearly 3,200 deaths and still rising every day. Deaths are still happening, not rising, but still happening every day. And I'm sure, and let's face it, that's with China, albeit being a bit late, have got access to some serious medical hardware that, health workers in the UK have said they haven't got access to. So It's frightening. Andy, do you think the ban from the UEFA will be lifted so City can play and bring revenue to the competition? Good point. I don't think it will even come into play with that, mate. This will just be an additional thing. I don't think there'll be any issues with City playing in the Champions League next season, mate. None whatsoever. City will be in the Champions League, in my opinion, next season. It will, Carl, but we're in the worst stage in the UK yet. The NHS best in the world. Good chat, Marty. My mum was an A&E nurse for 30 years. It will get better. It will get worse before it gets better. My sister worked for the NHS. She was a professional nurse. Is that asteroid still heading for us as well? Yeah. But it will get better. We all have to do our part. Yeah, you need to sort out your president, mate, because he's a right bell end, as much as ours is. What an absolute knob jockey he is. The South Korea deaths are quite low for the number they have infected. Wonder if they're doing something different. Well, they don't have a border. North Korea are not allowed to transfer over a border. That's one of the big differences. This should never have happened. No, Bernard, NASA said they got the size wrong or something. If you play the rest of the season in June or July, that will mean the new season starting in November. I'd just avoid everything till it's safe. Human life comes first. We've got elderly people we need to protect. Well said, Robert F. Shadow, do you think they will eventually close schools? I think it's only a matter of time, if I'm honest. But at the moment, they're not. Bloody fool of a man. And I saw that one, Carl, before you retracted it. He is a bloody fool of a man. Do you think China will be in trouble when this is over? Investigation. So Russia is clean, despite having troops all in infected areas. A massive trade with Iran. Deluded if you think Russia is being honest. Yeah, we're not getting any total bell. That's more like it, Carl. We're getting nothing about Russia, are we? Interesting. Wearing a mask is what we need to do. Stops it spreading. Only if your mask is a proper mask. The one that, you can't see it, but Kiam, the one I've got. I don't even know if I've got it here. Those little masks, surgical masks and things that are irrelevant and pointless. They've no filter on them. So you need one that's got a filter on it at least, and they don't last forever. Shadow rundown, not with this PM in charge, sorry to say. Can someone just uppercut Boris Johnson? Are Japan affected by this? Are Japan affected by this? Yeah, of course they are, mate. Absolutely. I'm just trying to bring up Japan. Japan's total numbers at the moment are 701, up 10 today with 19 deaths. How much of that information is accurate, we don't know. But that's the figures. North Korea will survive. They will, because everyone's on lockdown. Nobody can go in or out. November can't come fast enough. If Carlo dies from this, I'm going to bet. Carl, please. Sorry, mate. You're going in a bit of a timeout and training with the kids. Not with the kids, on your own, because nobody's in training. Come on, don't be posting stuff like that. Carl, the asteroid was a foot across, not a mile. They had telescope the wrong way round. Why don't they scrap all the League Cups for next season and start in October? I've got time to finish. Why? Why should they scrap the League Cups? It's us. We want to win it again. Apparently, the experts say closing schools is worse as parents who are NHS staff will be taken out of action. Yeah, there is that. But at the end of the day, it's a difficult. I understand it is a difficult decision. It's things like today with Cheltenham and that going ahead. I just don't understand why there's any need for it. Just cancel it. Could have cancelled it yesterday. Could have cancelled it the day before. Why have 30,000 people all together? It's madness. Heard on Sport, they need to finish the league by 20th of June. Technically, they can't take that risk on the infrastructure. Kiam, apparently it doesn't affect kids the same way. Sadly, school staff will be at risk. Yeah, it doesn't affect, clearly it doesn't affect kids and the healthy. Of course it doesn't. But it's not necessarily about thinking about me, or what if I get it. It's about what happens next. And this is the problem, is if you contract it, then you have to self-isolate. That means you can't go to work. That means that you shouldn't really come into contact with your family members per se. That means you can't visit your parents, who might be elderly, who might be having illnesses and things like that, and they might rely on your help. So it's the knock-on effect of everything, rather than just, well, I'm fit and healthy, and if I get it, yeah, I get it, and it's one of those things. So can't train with the kids, they're in isolation. Yeah, he is. I just said that. Corona, Mue, Verona. Plus schools have upcoming exams. We need to get 4P in the league, 4 place in the league. Don't cancel it. The lower leagues are still playing Saturday, I think. They shouldn't be. Should not be. If it said it's scrapped across the whole of England, Wales, and Scotland. Scrap the season, and then we'll be the only club to win anything this season. Kids are aware of this and they're watching. The only shortage I've seen is hand gel. Plenty of bog roll there. Well, I've just been to Costco today and I was allowed one big pack of bog roll. So I had to buy some bog roll, one big pack of bog roll, and some kitchen roll. So keep that to one side. And if the bog rolls runs out, we can always cut it in half. And we've got a load of bog roll. But yeah, go over and watch Jonathan Pye on YouTube. I posted it on my Twitter account earlier. Funny. The only shortage I've seen is Sanjo. Yeah, done that. Also saw leading German experts say Israelis claim that it will have a vaccine ready by August is complete folly. Cannot be trusted. It was far too late to cancel Cheltenham. The National will probably be cancelled though. Well, how is it too late to cancel Cheltenham when today they're cancelling football for tomorrow? Don't talk garbage. I'm scared to go and visit my 70-year-old parents. Yeah, this is the problem. It's not just about us catching or contracting it. It's about the impact it has on everything else. If the season is null and void, we can link in VAR and start fresh without it, please. Good point, Bernard. Robert F. Lower non-leagues are still playing tomorrow so far. Well, they shouldn't be because it's supposed to be everything. National League's still playing when I looked an hour ago. They shouldn't be, though, because everything should be cancelled. Maybe, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying they shouldn't be. Hopefully the lower leagues aren't cancelled. Mike Dean supports Tranmere. Clean sweep of English trophies for City, Community Shield and League Cup back to back. I've been told that wearing your girlfriend's tights over your head starts the virus. Any excuse, I suppose. Paul Standall, Chelsea Bear. Amazing how someone said there will be 19 buses celebrating the league if it gets classed as void. You're lucky no bog roll or water in my area. Rumours of people sleeping outside stores to be the first day. It's madness. I went at 10 o'clock this morning and Costco was absolutely heaving. It was heaving. And they just had like big piles of bog roll right at the front. And so I grabbed a couple. I wasn't going to go overboard and grab like 10 or we naturally needed more toilet roll. Otherwise, you just buy it from Sainsbury's or whatever. But I just went there because my wife went last night and I thought, well, I'll just get a couple of packs. And he went, how many accounts have you got? I went, well, I have 4 accounts here. Have you got 4 cards with you? And I said, no, I've only got my card with me, but business cards. We've got people that have cards for the business. And have you got them all with you? I went, no, I've only got mine with me. Why would I carry everybody else's cards with the business for the business? Oh, you can only have one then. I went, all right, okay, then fine, I'll just take one. It's no problem. But then other people had like 10 of them in and they kept going, have you got 10 business cards? Have you got this? It was a bloody nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Andy, I'm on my way to yours for the toilet roll. No, it's in the safe, mate. Locked it away. Clean tights, I use Blue Moon. Oh, God. Bernard, please stop it. Don't encourage him. Yeah, EFL cancelled, but non-league run by a different organisation. Well, there you go. That's terrible. Like I said the other day, 200,000 race goers, 200,000 loose cannons. Absolutely. The queues was out the door at the market last night. Pure chaos. The supermarkets must be raking it in at the moment. They certainly will be if you are. Keep thinking about Franny Lee. Has Franny Lee still got his business? If so, he's making an absolute fortune. Though I think he sold it now. Well, he sold it many years ago. I can't remember. But anyway, that's the business to be in. If you can make yourself some nice hand sanitizers, then that's the business to be in. But anyway, should it be cancelled? Should it be suspended? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? All we do know is that there are no games, or definitely no games until the 3rd or the 4th of April. What's going to happen next? That's going to be up for debate. And I'm sure lots of clubs will have their own opinions on those things, whether it should be played continued throughout until its natural conclusion behind closed doors, or whether some people will disagree and say, and clubs say, well, hold on a minute, that's not fair. How can you possibly, how can we lose out without our home games when other teams have had the advantage of having fans at their stadium? Don't make any sense. Let me go back. A warning for everyone: don't carry your hand sanitizer out in public. You could get mugged. Somebody'd have to be really desperate, mate. I'm concerned about how often all of you lot are going for number 2. Bernard, it doesn't matter really. Just make sure there are no hairs in them, because you... Oh, Jesus Christ, will you two stop it? Friday sold it ages ago. Yeah, I thought he might have done. I'm back. At the moment, they are, but folk won't be buying it for some time now, so it will even out. Franny's making a shit. He's not, because like I said, I thought he sold it a while back. Sick of eating all this pasta. Call's done his 14 days isolation. Franny sold out to HH. No football board already. Yeah, well, we're going to be doing loads of different videos on the channel. There'll be loads of new stuff coming up. Because we can't keep talking about coronavirus all the time. So there'll be loads of new creative ideas and things that we're already discussing between me, Martin, Chris, Kiam, and others. So don't forget, guys, if you're interested, you're bored of coronavirus being on this channel all the time, I'm sorry, but that's what it is, because it's breaking news, so we have to cover it. And you want to get involved, and you think, actually, I can contribute, and I've got something worthy to say. Don't forget, the email address is mcfcfantv@gmail.com. If you're up for it and you think, I've got some spare time, something I'd like to chat about, and you want to come on the channel, contact us, give us your idea, because we're open to it, because all of the fan channels are now going to have to become very creative in what we do in the coming weeks. So we'll be doing plenty of stuff. We've already got ideas that we've discussed already today. So let me go back before I go. I've not spoke to my wife for years. What do I do, please? RB Leipzig play incredible football. They do. COVID-19 may stop the football, but it can't stop my decks. Northern Soul tonight. Record a little bit on your phone, mate, and WhatsApp me it. Time for a few quizzes. Yes, that is one thing that is definitely coming this weekend. We've got a new quiz coming this weekend with a new prize. So, yeah, Paul, that's something, as you know, on Man City Fan TV, we're the ones who do the quizzes. There'll be quizzes coming up this weekend for you guys, so it should be interesting. But anyway, I'm bored of this virus news already. Just sat through 5 years of the same news story day after day. It's an issue, Michael Ivor. Joy Warden for 3 weeks with only choose to save. Brexit 4 years and now this. Will the City team still be training, or they're not allowed to? They'll be at home. They'll be self-isolating. There was if you go over to my Twitter account, and I'll post it here if you don't know it. I retweeted today Ilkay Gundogan, a picture of him. Nice message to the footballing community. Nice picture of him looking out over the city centre of Manchester. And basically saying we just have to be humans. We have to deal with this in the right way, basically, and which is absolutely spot on. No Robbie Fowler questions, please. City is still training up to now. Well, not the ones who are in isolation, clearly. And I'm sat here with you lot. There you go. Guys, listen, Sandy from Man City Fan TV. Thank you for coming on. Like I said, we'll be back. We might be back later. Maybe Martin's around later and wants to have a quick chat, a quick update with you guys later on. Maybe not. Maybe he's out. Maybe he's out infecting people. Who knows? Probably best just to stay in. But yeah, we'll wait and see. See what Martin's. If he's around, he's around. If not, then we'll be back tomorrow at some point as usual. But not got a phone, pal. Solid. Sold it with business. Can't be asked getting another one. Any news for Mendy? No news yet, mate. We'll get a testimonial for sure, Robert. All the homeless in Manchester City Centre are vulnerable from this disease. Absolutely, yeah, good point. Which is the point I made on my video this afternoon, talking about things like, I'll put a link up to it, and I was talking about things like what happens to all the perishable items. What do we do with those items? Do we give them to the homeless? Should we also be giving them to food banks? And if you haven't watched the video, go over and watch the video that I put out earlier this afternoon. And maybe we can review some season games in next week. Yeah, we can do. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Mihir says, hey Andy, hope you're doing good. I'm glad we didn't play Arsenal. Pretty much the entire squad would have been infected. Yeah, it would have done. Thanks, Mingy Wong. Cheers, Blues. Take care, Scott. Good idea, Carl. Staying in the house and good at that. Martin infecting people with his silky voice. It will be. It will be. From City. Martin might be around later. I don't know. I'm going to no doubt chat to him and Kiam in the next few minutes and see what's going on. But anyway, take care. Stay safe. Sanitize your hands. Give your loved ones a hug. And yeah, just keep safe and be sensible. At the end of the day, it is what it is. But we have to crack on. But we'll be back maybe later on. Maybe with a live vlog later on tonight with Martin. If not, we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, this weekend, there is a big quiz coming. Take care. See you soon.